Hi everybody, this is Olga with AskYourSoul.org, and today I really felt like we should talk about faith, because having been on this manifestation journey for quite some time, I feel like that has been honestly one of the hardest things for me personally, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Because it's all fun and exciting in the very beginning when you're like, oh, I can manifest stuff. And, why doesn't everybody do this? And this is so great. And, you can manipulate reality in whatever the heck way you want to. And this is awesome. And then you start doing it, and some time passes by, and you see that your manifestation still has not come true, especially if it's a bigger one, for example. And it's very easy for the doubt to start creeping in and for you to start doubting everything, including the process itself, or just even doubting, the whole idea of manifestation. And I just want this message to be kind of a supportive reminder that this stuff really does work, but sometimes it takes time. And, if you're a big fan of Neville, then you'll know that he thinks it's a matter of conviction. So if you truly believe that whatever it is that you're manifesting will come true, then it absolutely will. But since we're all mere humans, well, I am. I don't know about you, but pretty sure you are too. Inevitably, it's really hard not to start doubting that stuff when you don't see any results for quite some time. Or, the funny thing is, you may not see the results, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And that's really important to remember, because you have no idea about how this bridge of incidents is going to work for any specific manifestation. So I just always think of it in terms of, it only takes one moment of time to, let's say, meet your SP, and what if that moment is tomorrow? But you don't know that. And you're feeling completely discouraged, and you're feeling like nothing is coming true if you are specifically trying to manifest an SP, let's say. It's very disheartening because you don't see any progress per se. But who's to say that it's not going to happen literally in a matter of hours? We don't know that. And this is why it's so important to keep your faith. So I just really wanted to remind you of that. And also to read a little story from one of Neville's books. This one is called Seed Time and Harvest. Really cool book, by the way. And this is chapter 3, called The Gift of Faith. And by the way, I'm going to include a link below for this book. This one is from The Complete Reader, which I think is awesome because it has all of his books in one place. Anyway, so here's the story that I hope you find inspiring and encouraging. Faith sacrifices the apparent fact for the unapparent truth. Faith holds fast to the fundamental truth that through the medium of an assumption, invisible states become visible facts. For what is faith unless it is to believe what you do not see? Right? This was a quote from Hebrews 11:4. Just recently, I had the opportunity to observe the wonderful results of one who had the faith to believe what she did not see. A young woman asked me to meet her sister and her 3-year-old nephew. He was a fine, healthy lad with clear blue eyes and an exceptionally fine, unblemished skin. Then she told me her story. At birth, the boy, who was perfect in every way save for a large, ugly birthmark covering one side of his face, their doctor advised them that nothing could be done for this type of scar. Visits to many specialists only confirmed his statement. Hearing the verdict, the aunt set herself the task of proving her faith that an assumption, though denied by the evidence of the senses, if persisted in, will harden into fact. And by the way, I want to point out that this is his aunt. It's not even his mom, it's not him, his aunt, because, as you know, everyone is you pushed out, so she was the one manifesting for him. Every time she thought of the baby, which was often, she saw in her imagination an 8-month-old baby with a perfect face without any trace of a scar. This was not easy, but she knew that in this case, this was the gift of Abel, which pleased God. She persisted in her faith. She believed what was not there to be seen. The result was that she visited her sister on the child's 8th-month birthday and found him to have a perfect, unblemished skin with no trace of a birthmark ever having been present. And then I'm going to skip a little bit, but I'm also going to read this little part. It says, life on Earth is a training ground for image making. If you use only the molds which your senses dictate, there will be no change in your life. You are here to live the more abundant life, so you must use the invisible molds of imagination and make results and accomplishments the crucial test of your power to create. Only as you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and continue therein are you offering the gift that pleases. So, of course, it's up to you if you want to believe the story or not. We can always argue that, who knows, maybe he just made that up. We don't even know if it's true, right? But if you do choose to believe the story, which I do personally, here's what's so interesting about it to me. There is literally no explanation for how the birthmark disappeared. None, because all of the doctors, as I just read, everyone said that there is no way, like, this is just something that the baby is going to have to live with for the rest of his life, and it's not something that can be changed. And I mean, the good thing is it doesn't impact his health. So if this person did not believe in the law of assumption, they would be like, well, I guess that's just his fate. He's going to have to live like this for the rest of his life. And they would probably proceed, mentioning it here and there and saying like, oh, that's too bad. Oh my God, I wish this was different. I wonder why this happened. Oh, well, I guess we'll never know. And then eventually maybe come to terms with the fact that this is just how it's going to be. But instead, even though literally all the evidence of her senses told his aunt that this birthmark is going to be on his face forever, she chose to not believe that. She chose to imagine a completely different reality for him or for herself where he exists, but with a face that does not have that birthmark. And how that happened, once again, we have no idea. It literally, rationally does not make any sense. It just disappeared. But then again, how did it appear? Where did it come from? We don't know that either. And we have no idea how conscious manifestation played into that either. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we usually focus on the results, but we don't pay enough attention to how something came to be in the first place, and whether it's by manifestation or if it was quote-unquote meant to be, which in this case I believe it was really meant to be for her to witness her power. I know it's kind of like, it sounds weird because this is someone else's baby and he has a birthmark on his face. So like, what does that have to do with her learning about her own power of manifesting? But again, if you believe that everyone is you pushed out, depends on how you interpret that statement. This would actually make sense because it could be you, like your higher self, setting up this situation for you as a human being to witness your own power and your ability to manipulate reality through conscious manifestation, right? Like this would actually make sense in a way. But regardless of how it all came to be, I feel like the most important point here is our ability to have faith in something that is hard for us to understand and explain and accept. So just like it says here, for what is faith unless it is to believe what you do not see? This is what it's all about. When you feel like you're about to give up and nothing makes sense and you just wonder, what the hell? I've been trying so hard to manifest. I've been working on this so hard. I've been working on my self-concept, on SATs or whatever it is that you're, whatever way you're using to manifest, but I'm not seeing any results. I just want to remind you that it's all a part of the process, though. Just because you don't see those results right now, it does not, literally doesn't mean anything other than there are no results right now. That's it. This is why I really don't want you to assign any other negative meaning to that. If you want to assign a meaning, make sure that it's a positive one. Make sure that anytime you're reminded that your manifestation is still not here, you assign a meaning to that fact that, oh my God, I'm so excited. That means it's going to be here any moment. This is so cool. Or when you see someone else having a similar manifestation where they already have it and this is something you wanted, keep reminding yourself that you're next. I'm next. Oh my God, this is so cool. This is so exciting, because it keeps you excited for other people and, this positive energy flowing. But it also helps you see that, hey, this is possible. Maybe this is birds before land. Like, this is exactly why I'm seeing this materialize for other people. This is a sign that I'm next. I'm next. This is coming for me. Finally, this is so cool. So when you reframe it in that way, it becomes so much more exciting and so much easier to keep believing that it's possible. That only because you're not physically seeing something in your 3D reality doesn't mean it's not going to be there tomorrow or the day after. So I just feel like there are a few crucial components to conscious manifesting, and faith is definitely one of the big ones. The thing is, you always have a choice of not believing anymore. This is what's so amazing about our reality. We choose what to believe. And it's such an immense freedom. I don't think we even realize that because we're so used to it. But it's a freedom to believe anything you want. Use it wisely. Don't just waste it believing all the shitty things that you don't want. Because at the end of the day, if that's what you keep believing, that's most likely what you're going to keep manifesting. And why would you want that? And I know we all consciously understand that. We realize that. We just forget it sometimes because we're so impatient, I guess. And to us, time very much exists on this physical plane, and it's very easy to get impatient with shit. So I just wanted to throw this out as a little bit of a reminder that, hey, do your best to focus on what you actually are manifesting, what you're excited to have in your life, on things that are working for you, on reframing something in a positive way instead of being the victim of circumstances. Not to be judgy, because I know we all do it and it's totally normal. It's the most human thing to do. Plus, it's a habit. It's just a freaking habit. Although habits are very powerful, so it's not just a habit, it's like a habit. But as powerful as they may be, they are also changeable. And that's the good news. And you have a lot more power than you have probably realized that you have up until this point in your life. So I really want you to tune into this energy of power, of your inner ability to reframe things in a positive way, of your ability to manifest stuff. And honestly, this is just what works for me. And this is why, I wanted to share that with you. Anytime you witness someone else having a manifestation that you want, anytime you have those thoughts creeping in where, why is it still not here? I've been doing so much about this to manifest it and to make it happen, like going down this whole path of negative thinking and how just this lack, reminding yourself of how you don't have it. Instead of that, you can literally get used to saying to yourself, oh, cool, I'm next. Or, oh, cool, that means it's coming any day now. Oh my God, this is so exciting. So whatever thought that keeps you feeling like this is possible and your manifestation is about to come true, this is the one that you want to assign. This is the one that you want to automatically come as soon as you have a negative thought. So it can take a while to make that into a habit, but still, it's totally possible. And this is something that after a while of doing it just becomes so natural that you honestly don't even have to think about it. You literally, the second that a thought comes to your mind where you're like, I can't believe it's still not here, automatically your next thought from your subconscious, basically you are first doing this consciously so that it ends up being subconscious eventually, right? And so eventually it just becomes automatic. And you don't have to think about it. Automatically, you will have this thought following a negative one that, sweet, that means I'm next, or whatever it is that feels comfortable to you. So I know it can feel like work, but it's the type of work that can really benefit you in the long term. So this is something that's worth investing your energy into and time. And it honestly just helps you become more positive all around, you know? So yeah, just something to consider. I really hope you found this helpful. And if you have any cool manifestation stories that you want to share, I would love to hear some in the comment section below. Other than that, please remember that you are the operant power. You have a ton more power than you have probably realized up until this point. And this was just my little reminder to keep faith, keep going, keep persisting in your assumptions, and they will inevitably materialize. And if they don't materialize in exactly the way that you want them, it's for your highest good. That's just my assumption, because I truly believe that everything happens for our highest good. But still, it's really awesome when something happens in exactly the way that you wanted it to. Yeah, that about sums it up. Okay, thank you so much for listening, and have an amazing day or night, and have fun manifesting the life of your dreams. Bye!